Rams and the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, and how about this? An onside kick to start the game. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Ravens.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
On the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. 6 yards there on the keeper at second down.
Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
I sat down with my accountant. He said, I got good news and I got bad news. I said, what's the good news? He said, the good news is you made a lot. I said, what's the bad news? The bad news is you spent more.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the football, but now face second and long.
Now Jackson apparently a little unsure of things, so he'll call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on second and long.
Jackson from the shotgun. Forced out to his left. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 24-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Scoring first, so critical in the postseason. They've got it here 1st and goal. They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Dobbins again.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run with Dobbins. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore.
J.K. Dobbins
Taking it in. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
So they take the opening kickoff and drive it all the way down the field.
And that's the last thing you want defensively. On the road, in the playoffs, and now you're down a touchdown right away.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard line.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. First carry now for Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Mayfield looks to throw. Now Mayfield lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
J.K. Dobbins.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. One more time with Dobbins. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal.
Brings up third and goal.
Receivers in the game, 4 of them to the left side. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ravens 7, Browns nothing.
This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing third and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Myles Garrett drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Tucker's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
Makes the score.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
He's tackled at the 30.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
going for it. Here's Chubb. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, but it'll be 2nd down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
3rd down.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Taking it in from the 20, and the Browns are back within a score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Six yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram taking it in. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But it's also something to challenge in your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
9 yards. And the Browns first down.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
That's the end of
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. The Browns drive about to get started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And Mayfield just getting the play off. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. up. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It's taken to the 26. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. He may try and run for this. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
It's Dobbins. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 38.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Jackson now. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
That's right, baby. It's all
He's got the first down inside the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper. 17 yards, first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the 1-yard line.
Second and goal from the 1. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out as the Ravens push further out in front.
This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Handoff comes to Chubb.
Number 20.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Second down at 6 now from the 42.
They run it again with Chubb. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing, Mayfield. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. They'll run on first down. Dobbins, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson on the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take him to like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. From the 25 on 2nd down, Jackson buying time to his left. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Ravens will add on to their lead.
So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talent. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And they are...
Then I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Switch it. King.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Shift. Hey, alert 33.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. Not that time for Watkins. And now it's 2nd down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Watch Watch the whip. 42's much. Come on.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Flushed out right. That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there, 1st down.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. Mike,
To throw is Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10.
I'm going to show you, man.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's looking like they are going to get the victory here, and it will not be one and done in these playoffs. Of course, you remember the disappointment of 12 months ago, and they're trying to erase that memory right now. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
nice pick, nice pick.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12.
Makes the score Ravens 33, Browns 21.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will make it into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two. Jackson now
From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead.
41. Browns 21. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Return. The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And at this point, maybe you say, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't win their division but did earn a wild card berth. It does appear, however, that their season is just a few minutes away from ending in one-and-done fashion.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Today's final score.
Their season ends here. A tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, they have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.